26th of February 2017, the man of God rendered a word of prophecy about the return of President Buhari. President Buhari left the shores of Nigeria on the 19th of January 2017 on a 10-day medical leave in London. This leave was later extended indefinitely. The citizens of Nigeria were left in a state of uncertainty as no one had full information of the president's whereabouts. Neither did they know his health status. When this 10 days leave became indefinite, false news began to arise from different sources about his death and rumors of illness. MetroUK.com. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari dies in London. USANewsTV.com. Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has died. It was in the midst of this national confusion that the man of God rendered the word of prophecy. Let's hear the prophecy as rendered by the man of God.
This sheep that went outside the country, should this sheep come back? Now, if the sheep is allowed to cross the border to come back into the country again, I see that this sheep will not be effective, will not be able to sail in its full strength. So the question is, should this sheep just be left outside the country, or should the sheep be allowed to come back? Because even if this sheep comes back, it cannot sail again. I see the sheep struggling to sail. So should we leave the sheep outside, or should we bring it and pack it?
He further went to explain this prophecy in a monthly mentors meeting on the 6th of March 2017.
Jesus spoke in parables. The Pharisees sense that he spoke about them. But did I mention your name? Son of man, take a lamentation against the king of Tyre. Who is the king of Tyre? Prophesy to the prince of Tyre. You know? So you have to understand parables in the prophetic. So sometimes when things are sensitive, we rather speak in parable, lest it cause problems. So this sheep, we have to choose. The nation has to choose what it wants. If this sheep remains outside the shores because the sheep has an issue with sailing, we have to agree what we want. There are two options to this thing. Should this sheep stay outside where it has broken down? If this sheep stays outside where it has broken down, will there not be problem with the investors not quarrel? Will there not be a fight about the sheep and the shipping business? Will the stakeholders not have a problem? Our sheep has broken down. Some people say I want to see the sheep. Some people say let's buy blue sheep. Some people say no, let's use a red sheep. You know, so the next sheep should be yellow. So there will be issues if that sheep is left there. But if the sheep is allowed to come back into the shores, the sheep cannot sail. And if the sheep cannot sail, some people will not agree that the sheep cannot sail. So the sheep will be breaking down when it's sailing, which is not also good for the business. So should the stakeholders be fighting, or should the sheep be breaking down? In both ways there's problem, but one is a lesser problem. So what should happen? I saw in the visions of God where people were sitting and waiting, and many were saying this man cannot come. Then suddenly I saw he came.
Did you notice that the man of God clearly prophesied about the state of the nation and the sudden return of the president?
I saw in the visions of God where people were sitting and waiting, and many were saying this man cannot come. Then suddenly I saw he came.
13 days after the first prophecy and 4 days after the second prophecy was rendered, President Buhari returned just as prophesied by the man of God. This is what news headlines had to say in confirmation. Channels Television News. President Muhammadu Buhari returns to Nigeria. CNN News. Nigeria's President Buhari returns from medical leave in the UK. The man of God also mentioned that even if this ship returns, it will not be able to sail effectively.
But if it comes, it cannot sail. It cannot sail effectively.
True to the words of prophecy by the man of God, on the arrival of the president in a press briefing, he asked the vice president to continue as acting president. News Headlines also has this to say in confirmation. Pulse.ng. President asks Osinbajo to continue with governance. Aston Villa officials have just told Pulse that the president asked Osinbajo to continue with running Nigeria while he continues with his rest. True to the word of prophecy rendered by the man of God, the ship came back but is not able to sail effectively. This confirms the word of prophecy rendered by the man of God.
I saw in the visions of God where people were sitting and waiting. And many were saying, this man cannot come. Then suddenly, I saw he came. But if it comes, it cannot sail. It cannot sail effectively.
The entire body of Christ continues to pray for the recovery of the president for full strength, that he may be able to sail and take this country to greater heights. John 14:29. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it come to pass, ye might believe. The fulfillment of prophecy is a sign to the world and a witness that Jesus is alive, and that you may behold, believe in him, and be saved. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. Revelations 19:10. God bless you.